between Ralph Avenue and 63rd Street. Or give us a call, 718-241-5600, 718-241-5600.
Shavua Tov, Shalom Aleichem, to all of you listeners of this great station. This is Rabbi Albaz from SLC. I'm going to talk about the parasha we read yesterday, Parashat Ki Tisa. There are two pisukim in the parasha that seem to be contradictory. One of them is in Perek Lamed Bet, Pasuk Tet. Vayomer Hashem el Moshe, Kadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, Ra'iti et ha'am hazeh, I see this people here, meaning the Bnei Israel, Vehine am keshe'orefu. And this seemed to be keshe'oref. What does that mean, keshe'oref? Stiff-necked people, obstinate people. Rashi explains it the following. Why the word keshe'oref? Oref is the back, the neck. Keshe, tough, hard, which means whenever someone would reprimand them or would admonish them, they turn their neck, they turn their back, and they won't listen. That's kshe'oref. They won't listen. And the Sforno adds, such a person who does not want to listen at all, in tikva, there's no hope for teshuvah. Now, what happened here? Obviously, we know that the Bnei Israel, they somehow pushed Aharon, a Kohen, to have a Egel HaZahav, a golden calf, and to bow down to it. Now, it's not necessarily as many people think. There are many Mefarshim that explain that Haz v'Shalom, the Bnei Israel, were not in their mind. They didn't have a thinking of actual Avodah Zarah. But all they wanted is because Moshe Rabbeinu, who was the intermediary between them, and Kadosh Baruch Hu said they wanted something else that would be somewhat the intermediary between them and Hashem, and they said the Egel HaZahav would be the one. But they always believed in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But what we see from here is Am Keshe'oref, stiff-necked. That means being stiff-necked is a bad quality. It's a bad way. It's a bad behavior. That's what it seems. Then, in Perek Lamed Dalet, Pasuk Tet, then here it's different. Here Moshe Rabbeinu is talking to Hashem, and he asks him, "Vayomer imna masati chen be'enecha." If I can find favor in your eyes, Hashem, Yelechna Hashem b'kirbenu. He is asking Hashem to be in the midst of the Bnei Israel, the Shekhinah to be there, not to send an angel, not to send a malach, but them. And he says, Ki am keshe'orefu. Yeah, this people are kshe'oref, they're stiff-necked. Now, obviously, if you want Hashem to be in the midst, and he's saying they are kshe'oref, that means it seems to be like a good quality. So in one case, it looks like a bad quality. The other case, no, it's like it's a good quality. So which one is it? Well, the answer is, it depends. Let me give you an example. There is a Mishnah in Masechet Avot. And actually, we read this particular perek of the Mishnah every day after the Korbanot. It says, Yehuda bin Tema Omer, Heve'az Kaname. Yehuda says, you should be bold, aggressive like a leopard. But then the same person, Yehuda bin Tema, says, Hu Haya Omer, he says, Aspanim la Gehinam. If you have azut panim, if you are bold and aggressive like that you go to Gehinam. So which one is it? Is it good or is it bad? The answer is, it depends where do you use that azut panim. Where do you, in what circumstances you are using this aggressiveness, this boldness? If you're using it in the fulfillment of the mitzvot, helping Torah causes, then you should be aggressive. You should stick to it. at all times. Stand your ground. However, when it comes to the opposite case, if God forbid we're failing in the mitzvot, then bend your neck and accept the tochaha, accept the reprimand. Yes, Kesheoref is good in one way, it's bad in another. It's good in one way because when it comes to sticking to the mitzvot at all times, or helping the Torah cause, whatever it is, whether it's building a synagogue or a yeshiva or anything that has to do with Torah. Yes, be aggressive there. Be kshe'oref and stick to it. As a matter of fact, because of that, we, the Jews, are still here. After so many thousands of years, we're still here. Why? Because we work kshe'oref. Despite the fact that we're being thrown out from one country to the other, we stuck to our beliefs. Kshe'oref, yeah. If God forbid, had we been the other way around, we wouldn't be here. So it is a good virtue when it comes to being firm and solid, when it comes to obeying Hashem and obeying His laws. Now let me give you an example of someone that was kshe'oref, but the wrong direction. Yerovam ben Nevat. I'm sure you heard about Yerovam ben Nevat. He was, technically, he was a scholar, really. He knew Torah well. But he was a Rasha. He put up 2 agalim. 2 golden calves, he put it. One was in Bet El, one was in Dan. He was the first king in northern Israel, Yerovam ben Nevat. And he didn't want the people that were, he had 10 Shebatim under him. He was a king of over 10 Shebatim. He didn't want them to go to Yerushalayim, to the Beit HaMikdash. He put his own agalim. He said, that's it, this is it. Pashut was hote or mahati. Not only he sinned, he caused other people to sin. But if you look into Melachim, you will see that one time, the prophet Edo, he saw him. He was Abed Avodah he was maktir. And he started to reprimand him. He was mochiach him. What happened? He got angry. The king says, he picks up his arm and says, arrest him. All of a sudden, his arm became paralyzed. Could not move it. Not up, not down, not sideways, nothing. I already hit him. So he asked the prophet, please, pray for me. I can move my arm again. The Navi prayed for him, and his hand was released as before. But you know what? Did he ever learn his lesson from this incident? No way. It was kshe'oref. He would not take any tochaha from him. Back to what he was. Again, hoteo mahati. This is what we mean by being stiff-necked in the wrong direction. And you know something? Purim was only a couple of days ago. There was a similar situation in Purim also. What happened? Ahashverosh made a great feast for as long as 180 days. Can you imagine a feast that takes 180 days, one day after the other? But this was exclusively for his officials, for the officers, for the heads of the Medinot. He had 127 Medinot and so on. It was not just for everybody. Then, at the end of the 180 days, then he made a banquet, but this one for all the people in Shushan. Shushan Abira, that was the capital. So he made everyone, including the Jews. Was all invited to come. Now, they went and asked Mordechai. He was the Gadol Ador. Should we attend or not? He warned them. Do not attend. Don't go there. They didn't listen. They gave him the back of the neck, Kashiaref, the wrong direction. They turned their neck, so to speak, and they went ahead, attended the banquet and enjoyed themselves. Nehenu. It says, Nehenu mis'udato shel Ahashverosh. They derived pleasure from it. Now, what was the main problem here? Well, you know that after Galut Babel, it was prophesied by the Navi that it's going to take 70 years. After 70 years, the Bnei Israel will go back to their land and they will build the second Beit HaMikdash. This was known. Achashverosh knew it. But what he did was, he made a mistake in the calculation. He thought that for sure the 70 years have passed already. And now that's it. Once it passed already, that means not going to be any rebuilding. That means the destruction is has v'shalom, permanent. That's it. So what did he do? He celebrated. He celebrated the permanent destruction of the temple. And he brought in the vessels. He used them. That's a sacrilege to use the vessels. Davar shekedusha is using it for a mundane thing. He put on the Bigdei Kohen Gadol. He wanted to look fancy. And the Bnei Israel were there. And they saw this. And they celebrated with him. They were enjoying themselves there. Can you imagine? I mean, nowadays, we don't have the Beit HaMikdash. Unfortunately, there's no Beit HaMikdash. But we have something, let's say, kadosh, like a Sefer Torah. And you see someone taking a Sefer Torah, cutting it up in pieces, God forbid. And what do? You celebrate. Can you imagine what kind of a sacrilege that is? Celebrating something like that? They wouldn't listen to Mordechai. He was pleading with them. No. They know better. That is Geshe in the wrong direction. And that's when Hashem decreed the Gezerah that Haman should come. Look, the Bnei Israel in the Midbar, they wouldn't listen to Hur either. Hur was fighting for the right things. And don't make the Egel, so they killed him. They didn't listen. There's a big lesson that we learn from here, a tremendous lekah from here. When it comes to the cause of Torah, always stand firmly. However, when it's the other way around, you should bend down. When it comes to going in the wrong direction, bend your neck, bend down. Listen to the Hachamim of your generation. Very important. Many of us don't always know what the right direction is. We ask the Hachamim, and they will tell us how to behave. And we listen to the right thing. You know, we don't always know how things are happening. Sometimes something perhaps that is not to your liking is happening in your life, and you think, well, Hashem is doing something wrong, whatever, God forbid. Whatever Hashem does is always for the good, but we don't know it. Let's say, for example, you know, we learned at the beginning of the parasha about Mahasita shekel. Well, we take half a shekel. If we want to count the people, what do? We don't count the people head by head, 1, 2, 3, no. Each person will bring half a shekel. We count how many half shekels there are, and that's how many people we have. Very simple. But why half a shekel? How many tirutzim, there are many reasons why it's only half a shekel, not a whole shekel. Many tirutzim. I want to bring another tirutz. And I'm going to give you an illustration about a person, a young man, who has been living always the life of luxury in a palace with servants. Never saw anything that goes on in the world. All he sees is beautiful food, delicious bread all the time, and delicious wine and meals served to him at all times. But one time, his father sent him to visit in a farm. And he sees the farmer. He takes, in those days they had the oxen or whatever, and then they would go into the earth. The earth was nice and smooth. And he turns the earth all around. He turns it over. And he says to himself, what's going on? It was so beautiful. Why is he spoiling the earth? On top of that, after he sees that the farmer takes the seeds and he throws the seeds in the ground. Wow. Throwing seeds, wasting seeds on the earth? And then he comes again and he turns the earth over again to make sure the seed is inside. What's going on here? Why is he doing this ways? He doesn't understand it. Then he sees after 3-4 weeks, whatever, the buds come in and there's flowers all around. Plain flowers. Oh. He says, oh, maybe that's what it is. And then the stalks of wheat that grow up all over. Stalk of wheat, that's what it is. Now I understand why he did that. But then, next thing he sees is the guy comes in with the sickle, and he cuts this thing one and the other, cut the whole thing, throws them in the ground. Then he comes in and stamping on it in order to remove the grain from the pisole, from the rest. He takes the grain and he sees a whole amount of grain. He says, wait a minute. He takes the grain and he goes to the mill and starts grinding it and grinding and grinding it. What's going on? He takes the grinding, the flour, and he mixes with the water, kneads it, and now he puts it into the oven, and lo and behold comes out delicious bread. Now I understand. He said, now I see. Before, I could not understand why. Now I see why he did it. Rabotai, the Hachamim are telling us the following. You learn a lesson from this story. While you're going through something, it could be something good, it could be something bad, we don't know. But while you're in it, you don't know what the end result is going to be. HaKadosh Baruch Hu has his own ways of dealing with the people. We can't understand how HaKadosh Baruch Hu behaves because we're not divine. We're human beings. As smart as we can be, our mind is still limited. And sometimes we might be going through something that is not so great, but then at the end, maybe a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, we see, it came out to be something very good. I have experienced this myself a couple of times in life, where something bad was happening, only to see that later on it was something very good. Like the family that was in Hungary, and they wanted to go to a certain place in Luxembourg, and they couldn't. And they wanted to go so badly there, and for some odd reason, they couldn't get visas. They wouldn't give them the visas. Only to hear later on that all those people there, the Jews there, were taken away. And it was sent to concentration camps. Eventually, it was sent to gas chambers. Yeah, Kadosh Baruch Hu does this many, many times. or the guy that was supposed to go on a flight. On a flight, yeah. It happened recently with the flight with the Russian airplane. There was a woman and her daughter who happened to be there in Russia attending some seminar and Chabad, and that was for the weekend or something. They wanted to go to leave on that flight that crashed, and somehow he talked them all. He talked them out of it. He said, stay with us, and they stayed. So in their mind, they missed the flight, but you know what? That flight crashed. This is the things that we don't know, and we have to always thank and be grateful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because whatever Hashem does, it'll always be for the good. But we have to stay strong at all times. Have faith in Hashem, in the mitzvot, in how the Hachamim are directing us. And if we're going to be stiff-necked, well, we should be stiff-necked in order to hold the proper direction, to follow the mitzvot, yes. On the other hand, if we're doing something that is not correct, then we should bend. And that's a tremendous lesson that we learn. Also, there are many lessons, obviously, we learned from the parasha that we read yesterday, but this is one of the lessons. So I'm going to tell everybody, please make sure that this is just Purim now. We always give out contributions here and there. This is an excellent cause. I'm talking about this station, and please try to contribute as much as you can. And if you have any simcha, call us at SLC. We have a beautiful social hall. I'm sure we can accommodate any simcha that you have. So, Shavua Tov, and Shalom Aleichem to all of you. Now we're going to start preparing for Pesach. Shavua Tov.